Present.
Mr. Mazzone?
Here.
Dr. Racine?
Here.
Mr. Sprayberry?
Here.
Dr. Oladi?
Here.
You have a quorum.
The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meeting of public bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, the Rutherford Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place posted on the bulletin board outside the Borough Clerk's office, mailed to the Herald, South Bergenite, and the Record newspapers, and filed with the Borough Clerk. Hard copies of the agenda are available in the meeting room, and the agenda is posted electronically on Friday before the meeting date on the district's website at www.rutherfordschools.org. Subsequent to the meeting, a video of the meeting will be uploaded to the district's website, www.rutherfordschools.org. The video link can be found by opening the Board of Education link and clicking on Public Meetings and then Videos. Board members, in your packets, there are 2 sets of minutes. A regular meeting for January 3rd, 2022, an executive session January 3rd, 2022. Anyone have any questions or comments about those minutes? Hearing none, I'll ask Mr. Kelly to please enter those. So I'm excited that we're going to begin with a very special presentation this evening.
A few minutes on that.
Say again?
We're going to need a few minutes on that.
She wants to come back to it?
Yeah, please.
Okay. All right. We're trying to get our tech up to speed, so we want you to have full audio. So we're going to come back to you, if that's okay, in a couple of minutes. And so we are going to go on to the report of our student representative, and we'd love to hear from you. Welcome.
Thanks. No, it's not going to reach. You're going to have to come here. That's fine. Thanks. Good evening and Happy New Year, everyone. As the first semester ends and we approach the half-year point, everyone's looking forward to what the rest of the school year brings. Some scholarship applications have opened for the senior awards and are found in Naviance. Seniors can read the criteria and download the application, as well as seek guidance from their guidance counselor for help. Students should also keep deadlines in mind and check back periodically as more scholarships are added. The fashion show will be on February 2nd at the Venetian in Garfield, and the seniors who are participating are very excited. Our slogan is Seniors Through the Seasons, which is what the tickets say. As it will be the first fashion show in 2 years, we are hoping to make it a memorable evening. Student council members were asked if available to help pass out Tricky Tray prizes on the night of the event. The guidance counselors are currently meeting with juniors and their parents for their junior conferences so that they can discuss plans for their senior year. Last month, student council and pep club members sold holiday grams for $1. All money raised went to the student council charity at the end of 2021. FBLA and Future Teachers of America clubs teamed up and collected 145 teddy bears and wrapped them during their lunch hour, and Miss Bob brought them to a preschool in Jersey City. It was the only gift most will get at Christmas. 33 members of FBLA competed in the Northern Regional competition. 9 placed and will advance to the state competition in February. We had our holiday assembly the day before we went on Christmas break, and as it was the first one we had in 2 years, everyone was excited to get into the holiday spirit. Within the next few weeks, winter sports will start to wrap up so that athletes can prepare for their spring season. In closing, thanks for listening to my report and have a great evening.
Thank you, Mr. Raffanello. I am reminded in your opening about grants and scholarships and all those. My daughter's senior year last year and all those. I hope the students do take advantage of those. Want to thank you for a very well-rounded report and open it up to board members if you have any comments, thoughts, or questions for Mr. Raffanello. Mr. Sprayberry?
Richard, just great report, very thorough. Love hearing about everything that's happening in the school
Thanks.
district from the senior class. So really, really happy that you guys get to have your social, your dance, party. I mean, that means a lot.
Yes.
So I'm really happy for you guys. Great report.
Thanks.
Mrs. Jones?
I was just gonna say, there's so many scholarships. When we go to the breakfast, it's just wonderful to see. So apply to everyone that you can, because you never know. They do a good job in trying to make it even so that everybody gets something. All the PTA scholarships, anyone that you can.
Absolutely.
It all helps.
Any other comments from board members? Hearing none, then Mr. Raffanello, I want to thank you again for your reports. They're really helpful for all of us. We're strategic and not as hands-on in terms of knowing the day-to-days the way you know them. So all the information you bring, the student perspective, super important for all of us. It's, I think, one of the best parts of our meetings. So thank you for being here.
Of course.
You're welcome to stay. If you have homework and other commitments, that's okay as well. And thank you again.
Of course. Thank you.
All right, so we are going to, I'm sorry, Ms.
Are you
Jones?
gonna stay or are you gonna leave?
I'll stay.
Okay, never mind, then I can wait then. There was something here about a board member representative, and I wanted to make sure he heard it.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right.
Thank you, Richard, thanks.
You're welcome.
Because Mr. Hurley is out of district this evening, I'm going to ask Mr. Kelly if he will do the report of the superintendent.
Thank you. Mr. Hurley sent me some thoughts he wanted to share with you tonight. He starts off as apologizing that he's not here at tonight's meeting. I think it's the first one he's ever missed, as he is out of the district today. First and foremost, he wanted to acknowledge, thank, and send best wishes to Ms. Geraldine Howard, Ms. Danielle Sabato, Ms. Patricia Artinger, and Mr. Mark Doty, all of whom are retiring. Their retirements are on the agenda tonight, and they're all effective as of the end of this academic year. I know he would express his heartfelt appreciation to all of them for all their many years of service. The first part of the CUSAC review, as you know, that's the state monitoring, that will take place tomorrow. Because of his absence, his sections have been postponed until sometime in February, not scheduled yet. Mine were also rescheduled to that same day, but tomorrow they'll be doing the curriculum and instruction, which Mrs. Fargo oversees, and they'll be doing that remotely tomorrow. Preschool registration for 2022-23 began today. Registration for kindergarten and above begins on February 1st. Parent conferences for students in grades pre-K through 6 will be held on January 28th and 29th. There is a one-session day for students in those grades on January 28th and no school on January 29th. The conferences will be held in person, although a parent may request a virtual conference. Just a reminder to the board that the Buildings and Grounds Committee will meet on Tuesday, February 1st at 7 p.m. via Zoom. The Finance Committee will meet the same night at 7:30 p.m. via Zoom. Agendas and Zoom invites will be sent prior to the meeting. That was Mr. Hurley's report. I had a couple of things I wanted to add, if you don't mind. Well, first was the video that we're still having trouble with, but we'll get there. If you remember, the successful referendum was over 2 years ago. That was in September of 2019. We had a failed referendum in September of 2018. But prior to that, in preparing for these referendum, we had to do some digging, literally, to find any underground storage tanks, oil storage tanks. We did find several of them, and that starts a whole series of events to get them cleaned up and make sure that they're completely remediated. Happy to let you know that we've gotten reports from our LSRP, our licensed site remediation professionals. All locations are cleaned up, and that is their report to the Department of Environmental Protection. So there was some concern about that 3 or 4 years ago, but those issues have been resolved. I wanted to just update you the boiler projects. The board approved that a couple months ago. We are moving on that. That is moving a lot faster than we had expected. We had approved that a lot earlier than we normally would have, just because we were concerned about the availability of the equipment that's needed. So it has become available. The boilers are starting to be moved into the schools and to be connected. We'll obviously keep an eye on what work can be done during school hours and If not possible, it'll be done after school hours. We are in the process of working on the budget for 22-23. To be honest, I'm a little bit behind because of a number of things going on, but we will get there. I think that's it. Any questions on those reports from the board?
All right, thank you. On behalf of Mr. Hurley, thank you, Mr. Kelly, not on his behalf, but just thank him for a thorough report. Are we ready for the,
I don't know.
not ready?
So
Okay.
We're not going to be ready?
Okay, so we are going to move on to the report of the president. It's interesting how school administrators' minds think, because what Mr. Hurley had in his report were 4 out of 6 of the items I wanted to touch on. So that's good news for my report. So just for those who aren't aware of what QZAC is, it is the Quality Singular Accountability Continuum, which is an evaluation basically that the district and schools, districts in New Jersey go through every 3 years, and it's broken up into 5 different categories: instruction and curriculum, fiscal, governance, operations, and personnel. And just want to thank Mr. Hurley, the administrators, Mr. Kelly, on all the work they've done to prepare to make sure that we're up to standard. I'm confident that we're going to come out of this really strong, as we did 3 years ago, and just want to thank you for all your work on that. So board members, congratulations to everyone for their committee assignments, and want to also congratulate both those who stayed in the same committees, those who are making a shift, and our chairs for your continued great work. Want to express gratitude to all the faculty, staff, and administrators for their continued hard work. I know how busy you all are. Mr. Kelly, we have no doubt that budget will be presented when it needs to. And finally, I did want to just echo Mr. Hurley's sentiments about the retirements of those 4 staff members in the district. They really served for a number of years, and really thankful for their commitment. And finally, just to those who are watching tonight, just a reminder that all of the meetings that we have are recorded during the school year, and they're put on the website. There's a lot of good information there. So just a reminder to please be watching those if you can't attend a meeting. Any questions or comments from board members? Okay, hearing none.
Not quite yet.
Okay, so at this time, at 7:46 p.m., we're going to open up the meeting to the public for any items related to the agenda this evening. Okay, hearing none, we're going to close the meeting at 7:46 p.m. And guess we will move into new business, where there is action to be taken. Mrs. Ahmed, will you take us through personnel, please?
Surely. Tonight, the first 4 resolutions we're going to go over are about the teachers, 4 teachers that are retiring, and I'd just like to speak a little about that according to our notes. But number 1, Geraldine Howard, teacher of Family and Consumer Sciences at Rutherford High School, will be retiring effective July 1st. Let me read them first. Daniel Sabato will be retiring computer literacy teacher at Pierpont School with regret. 3, Patricia Artinger to accept retirement of Patricia Secretary at Union School. And 4, Mark Doty, retirement as 6th grade teacher at Pierpont School. But the facts about them, I was really impressed that we should mention. Ms. Howard served as a teacher in the district since 2003 and has led state projects through New Jersey Association of Family and Consumer Services, student leadership, projects through the National Career and Technical Organization, Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America. Number 2 was Daniel Sabato, accepted her retirement, computer literacy, teacher at Pierpont School from July 1st, 2022. No, I'm sorry. Mrs. Sabato served as a teacher for the Rutherford School District since 1997, and she was hired as a leave replacement. She is a tenured track position in September 97. Number 3, the board also accept Mrs. Patricia Artinger, secretary at Union Middle School, has served as a secretary at Union School through several transitions and reorganizations of the school. And then there was one more. Where did I put it? Where's number 4 here? Oh, here we are. Okay, on the other side. Nicole Doty, I guess, 6th grade teacher at Pierpont School. Served as a teacher in Pierpont School since September 1996. He is certified in elementary social studies and a reading specialist. So I just thought if we could, think about how long these teachers work for them and congratulate them on their jobs well done. 5 is Nicole Natel. Approve her as a full-time teacher assistant, effective January 25th. She's a relief replacement. 6, Lori Mundy. To approve her as a long-term substitute guidance counselor at Pierpont School, effective January 31st. Elizabeth Garcia, to approve her as a long-term, it is a female, right? Elizabeth? Make sure, okay. Sorry. Approve her as a long-term substitute STEM teacher at Rutherford High School on January 30th. First, employee 2038, to approve a leave of absence under the Family Leave Act and Family and Medical Leave Act, currently for employment 2038, effective December 6th through February 28th, 2022. Number 9, employee 2121, approve a disability leave, maternity leave, followed by a leave of absence under New Jersey Leave Act and U.S. Family Medical Leave Act, concurrently without pay from through November 22nd, 2022. Employee 1333, effective September 14th. It's another leave of absence under the Family Leave Act, U.S. Family and Medical Leave Act, concurrently without pay for child rearing leave, absence without pay through January 31st. 11, retirement monies. Approve the payback of sick days to the retirees as per agreement between the Rutherford Board of Education and the Rutherford Education Association. Elizabeth Falker, amount $11,380, and Rita O'Neill Wilson, the last name, is $1,100. Substitute teachers, number 12, effective January 25th at the per diem rate of $90 in accordance with law. Gina Fuji, Tiara Sherlock, Mona Yostos, Elvin Sevick, from Union School only. 13, substitute teacher assistants. Approve the teacher assistants for the 21-22 school year, effective January 4th at the hourly rate of $13. Amal Bechet, Gina Fuji, Tiara Sherlock, Mona Yostos, Elvin Sevick. And number 14, travel reimbursements for Anthony Paterno, for Tara Phillip, and Christina Marks. And that's all we have today.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Ahmed. Questions or comments from board members? Hearing none, Mrs. Ahmed, do you want to move this?
So with the board's approval, I would like a vote for accepting motions 1 through 14.
All right, do we have a second? Mr. Healy, any last comments or questions? Hearing none, Mr. Kelly, please take roll.
Mrs. Ahmed,
Yes.
Mr. Bogosian,
Yes.
Mr. Healy,
Yes.
Mrs. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Mazzone,
Yes.
Dr. Racine,
Yes.
Mr. Sprayberry,
Yes.
Dr. Olati.
Yes.
Motion's carried. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We're going to move to curriculum and instruction. Ms. Jones.
Thank you. We only have one resolution tonight. I think this is the first time ever there's just been one. And this is out-of-district placements. This is for the out-of-district placements for the 21-22 school year.
All right. Thank you. Questions or comments from board members? Hearing none, we'll
I
move
move
this.
resolution number 1, out-of-district placements.
All right, and Ms. Bogosian, seconds. Any last comments or questions? Hearing none, Mr. Kelly?
Mrs. Ahmed,
Yes.
Mr. Bogosian,
Yes.
Mr. Healy,
Yes.
Mrs. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Mazzone,
Yes.
Dr. Racine,
Yes.
Mr. Sprayberry,
Yes.
Dr. Olati.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll go through finance. Dr. Racine.
Finance, there are 6 items. The first 3 are the approval of bills, the December report, and budget transfers. as usual. Number 4 is accept a donation of children's books for the K Center from Mr. Patrick Dunn. Number 5 is an amended ESSA submission. And number 6 is to agree to some professional development services also paid through Title IIA funds, which is government money. That's it.
All right.
If I may.
Yep, please.
Number 5 is the submission of the ESSA amendment. The board had approved this back in December, but at the time we didn't think we were allowed to carry over the Title III immigrant funds. So other than that line, the numbers are the same as what was approved already, but I just wanted to make this official. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Kelly, do you know what Otis stands for in number 6? By chance? I'm just curious.
I used to.
No problem. I can
I'll find out.
All right. Any other comments or questions from board members? All right, hearing none?
Yep. Like to move the 6 items to finance.
All right, we have a second. Mr. Bogosian, any last comments or questions? Hearing none. Mr. Kelly, please take roll.
Mrs. Ahmed?
Yes.
Mr. Bogosian?
Yes.
Mr. Healy?
Yes.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Mazzone?
Yes.
Dr. Racine?
Yes.
Mr. Sprayberry?
Yes.
Dr. Olati?
Yes.
Motion's carried. Thank you.
Thank you. Policy, Mr. Healy, any
Yes,
update for us?
Yeah, we did not have a policy committee meeting since our last board meeting, and there are no resolutions for this evening.
Okay, thank you. Then we will move on to buildings and grounds. Mr. Sprayberry.
Go Mr. Healy, no meeting this past month, and no motions to carry. Looking very forward to our meeting on Tuesday.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much. Are we ready for them now? We are ready. Okay. Then we are going to go back to one of the first agenda items with our special presentation from the leaders of the Rutherford Swim Association programs. We're really excited to have you here this evening and for you to present to us. So, love to give you the floor.
If I may, this is Mike Lazara and Chris Dunn, and Ken Burke is sitting back there. Ken is a retired teacher and swim coach from Rutherford High School.
And I just want to say, I believe we were here on your first meeting, Dr. Olati, and it's good to see a lot of your faces again, and we made it through this pandemic together. So I'm happy to see you all.
Just to echo Mike, it's great seeing everyone. You guys have done a great job throughout this pandemic. It's incredible to think that this is our 3rd year right now. We started our 3rd year taking over the operations at the pool. And part of our presentation is to really thank you for the opportunity. I think we've accomplished a lot of our initial goals, and now we're kind of looking forward to building off that relationship that we've established with the community. And we're excited to work towards developing that vision and sharing it with you in the near future. But in the interim, just thank you so much for the opportunity. It really has been, it's been life-changing for all of us here. And it's something that we're really, really proud of being a part of.
Well, I see some faces I've known for a long time. So I haven't been back in Rutherford since 2015. And I didn't really plan on talking tonight, but Rutherford kind of gets in your blood. So I want to talk for just 1 minute about what this school district helps instill upon all of their students. So I knew the two of them when they were back in high school, and back in high school when they were freshmen, they said, Mr. Burke, we're going to take over the pool one day, and we're going to help build swimming back in Rutherford, and we're going to fix the pool, and we're going to do this. And I said, well, that's a really good dream. And they said, oh, no, we're going to do it. And that's what I want to talk briefly about. I want to talk about what this district does in helping their students achieve their goals. And one of the things, and for those at home, that as a teacher here and all the teachers in this district strive to keep those goals alive in our students and to match those goals with their passion. And standing in front of you today are two past Rutherford students that took those goals and took that passion and has built something outstanding in our community. And I just wanted to, as their past teacher, say, nice job. And to the Board of Education and all the administrators throughout this entire district, they are a microcosm of what we do every day. And just keep up the good work, because this town is very special. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Please. Thank you.
Partnership, cooperation, alliance, collaboration. What does it all mean? When two or more parties benefit from one another, and that is the relationship Rutherford Swim Association has with the Rutherford Board of Education. I'm Ken Burke, former educator and head swim coach here at Rutherford High School. In my new position, I am the Director of Competitive Aquatics for the Rutherford Swim Association. The Rutherford school system has found a partner that is invested in the high school pool. The Rutherford Swim Association mission was to revitalize and modernize the facility and provide a series of programs that benefit the Rutherford Bulldogs, but also the Meadowlands community. In its first year, the RSA painted the pool and made needed upgrades to the heating and chlorine system. Soon after, it purchased a new scoreboard and new blocks, which benefit the Rutherford Bulldogs and other competitive swim programs that use the pool. One of the most recent upgrades was the installation of 2 retractable garage doors that bring in natural light and fresh air, and a new air filtration system. The Rutherford Swim Association also provides lifeguards and assistance with the Bulldog swim team. The Rutherford Swim Association has benefited from the partnership by being able to provide a recreational pool for the Meadowlands area, master class swim sessions, and lap pool times for members. Earl Peterson was one of the very first people that signed up.
I was very excited when the Rutherford Swim Association took over the pool, because it finally opened up again. It's such a great resource for the community. It's a great form of exercise. Since they've been running the pool, the temperature's good, it's clean, and they've got great hours. I think Mike and Chris have done a great job running the pool, and I'm very happy. And Mike always jokes I was the first person to sign up, and I'll probably be the last person too.
We reopened this resource to provide opportunity to the community. We have a great swim lesson program where we start from the infant age of 6 months old all the way up to seniors. We offer a special needs swim program and teach water safety competency to those with developmental disabilities. We offer a new program for the state troopers that are entering the Cadet Academy and offering swim lesson skills, life-saving skills, water safety instruction.
Our community pool is on a transformative path thanks to the special opportunity afforded to us by the Rutherford Board of Education. We are excited not only to serve our community, but to see the future of this pool. Mike and I just wanted to thank you again for this great opportunity.
So the last 3 years, they were challenging. I know Dr. Racine and Mr. Mazzone came to visit me in the first week of RSA's existence, and I hit them with all my ideas. And I think it might have been overwhelming at first, but growing up in aquatics and knowing how valuable it was to us, you know, I just wanted to replicate what I had as a child in this town. And I can't thank all of you enough for giving us this opportunity, letting us live our dream, and building something special in the community. Every time we host a swim meet, anytime we host some big event at our pool, we're bringing families into this wonderful neighborhood. And now people are going to start to see how great Rutherford is from the inside out. All right? So I want to thank you all again. This is great. I'm glad everybody's healthy and seems to be doing well. And thank you again for this wonderful opportunity.
Well, Mr. Lazaro, Mr. Dunn, Mr. Burke, I wanted to tell you that before You came to that first meeting where I had just stepped into the president's role, not knowing what I was doing. I will tell you that even before that, we had been talking about Rutherford Swim Association in our strategic planning committee meetings, different committees, and really talking about the idea of your being able to take over and think about what the future of the swim program was going to look like. And you can teach a lot of things. You know, you can teach people to have a high level of intellect, and you could teach them to become experts in the field. It's hard to teach heart. And you've had heart since the beginning. You've had a lot of courage. You've made some bold choices. And all of it's really paid off. And just watching this video and the partnership that you're talking about with the community and how you're really trying to impact the community, you know, I will just say you've exceeded expectations. And unfortunately, that usually means you've set the bar so high that the expectation stays high. But we know you're going to meet and exceed that. And really appreciate everything you've done for the town, for the schools, for the students. So thank you on behalf of the board, absolutely. I'm going to open it up to any board members like to say anything. Mr. Sprayberry?
You know, I was at those early meetings where that resource had divided this community, and what you two have done is you've united the community, and that is just phenomenal. What you guys have done is it's just an amazing program. You hear anyone that mentions it. So I just want to say, I mean, in the 3 years, amazing job, gentlemen. Congratulations, and thank you for taking it over and making it such a valuable resource.
Mr. Mazzone?
Yeah, I'd like to echo the comments of my colleagues and to say exceptional job. You know, having been here, as Mr. Sprayberry said, through some very divisive conversations, looking at what a gem we actually have in the pool and the asset to our community, I really, really sincerely thank you for what you've done. I know you're here thanking us for partnership, but as a board and as a community, we sincerely thank you. I just now want to get Mr. Racine in the pool. But thank you. Great job, gentlemen.
Thank you. Mrs. Ahmed?
Yeah, it's really been an honor to be able to, as a board member, support the dreams of some of our students, you know, and see how well you've done them. And I applaud you, and I thank you on behalf of the school, the teachers, the children that you're making happy. So thank you.
Ms. Jones?
When the pool first opened in the 70s, or late 70s maybe, it was such a boom to this community. I remember taking my young children and kids that I watched during the summer over because they had an open swim where families could sign up and I could take them over, and, you know, and they loved it and so forth. But you kept the dream going. When we were kind of falling apart there and you came through, and it's just wonderful. I'm so glad that we're able to keep. Thank you for all your hard work and your dedication.
Dr. Racine?
Everyone's saying how the entire process you took the pool through from the beginning to what it is now is amazing. And you're showing what you can do with kindness and determination. And that's what I see with you guys. And thank you.
Mr. Healy?
I just want to say congratulations. Wonderful job you did. Thank you so much. We should have brought our swimsuits tonight. I'm telling you, it looks beautiful. It looks beautiful. Thank you.
Hey, listen, anytime you want to come by, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Might need a board retreat. That might be a good place for it. All right. Well, we truly are grateful for everything you've done, as you can hear. And it's one of the things I appreciate about the board. We sort of pick up the pieces and make the whole. So everyone's had collective different types of thoughts to express, but they all fall in the same category of, you know, real gratitude. So thank you. Keep up the great work. We look forward to hearing about everything that's yet to come.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
So we are going to move into old business now. Does anyone have any old business to bring up?
Can I just throw something in there?
Yes.
You asked what OTIS stood for. It's Online Technology and Instructional Sessions.
Okay. Okay, great. Not what I thought, so thank you. I thought the T was for teaching. Okay, so any other old business? Thanks again. Okay, then we're going to move into legislative update. Mrs. Jones, do you have anything for us?
Yes, I do. Thank you. when I first started in the board in the 80s, we did not have a student representative. When I came back in 2005, that was, you had already established it. So Shelley mustn't remember, it was a year or two earlier maybe, because Mrs. O'Keefe brought a student representative onto the board. In fact, the first one was Nick Macri, who was one of our master teachers, Joan Macri's son. And I've just enjoyed the reports over the years. But, as I said, we go back to the early 2000s. The Board of Education student representative is now becoming a law. We've been way ahead of it. But the Assembly Bill 3392 and Senate Bill 1219 requires that at least one student representative be appointed to each Board of Education for a school district and the Board of Trustees of any charter school, including from grades 9 to 12. The student is to be selected by the student body. In the event that there is more than one high school in the district, the position will rotate among the other schools. The representative shall attend all meetings, present to the board on matters of student concern, and provide a monthly report to the student body, which you have done very, very well. The student representative would have no vote and would not be permitted in closed session, but that's nothing new. And this law goes into effect for the beginning of the 22-23 school year. So we've been doing it all along, and now they finally decided to make it a law. So thank you for being one of ours.
Absolutely.
And the other one is reporting discipline data, Assembly Bill 1184 and Senate Bill 1020 requires a school report card to include demographic breakdown of students who receive disciplinary actions and requires the Commissioner of Education to establish a statewide database concerning various disciplinary actions. This bill requires that there be a demographic breakdown by race, gender, disability, and grade level of the students who receive discipline, as well as the types of discipline imposed. This law goes into effect immediately and will first apply to the 22-23 school year. And then just one more thing, it's not in the update on the legislators, but Cresskill School District got hit very, very hard by Storm Ida, lost many much, including 5 boilers. They go out for a referendum tomorrow for $21 million just to repair what they had. I mean, what we did was, you know, making our district so much better for our students, but they're just going for repair. They will get reimbursed by federal for 75%, but it's got to pass for these kids. They really are, and when I think about how lucky we were, you know, so say a prayer tonight that they get their referendum passes tomorrow. That's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Jones. I just wanted to say, you know, having there been a student representative on the board since I've been on the board, and since, you know, a lot of us have been on there, you don't know necessarily that things like this are becoming law, and so many districts aren't doing that. I think it's so important. If any districts are looking for models of, you know, what it looks like successfully, Mr. Ruffinello, I may give people your phone numbers so they can call you and say, what does a good student report look like? That's okay. I'm just kidding. All right, so thank you again, Mrs. Jones. At 8:11 p.m., we are going to open up the meeting to the public for any items related or not related to the agenda this evening. Okay, hearing none, then we are going to close the meeting at 8:12 p.m. We do have a need for an executive session to discuss one student matter, one legal matter. We'll be out for about 10 minutes, 5 minutes. We are going to ask if we can just keep the meeting in this room. So I need a motion to go into executive session. Mr. Mazzone, seconded by Mr. Bogosian. All in favor? Aye. All right, we are going into executive session. I'd like to thank everyone who came this evening, the audience. Appreciate your attendance.
Thank you for coming, everybody.